Hello friends, today we will learn about GDP. What is GDP? GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. Now let us see the definition of GDP, Gross Domestic Product. Gross domestic product is the total monetary or market value of all the finished goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period. As a broad measure of overall domestic production, it functions as a comprehensive scorecard of a given country's economic health. In other words, we can say that the GDP is the total of all value added created in an economy. The value added means the value of goods and services that have been produced minus the value of the goods and services needed to produce them, the so-called intermediate consumption. In short, we can say that any kind of production inside geographical border of a country, any kind of production, it can be about foods, goods and services, any kind of goods they are there, relating to cloth, relating to basic commodity, fooding, steel, car, manufacturing of wood, ply, means overall production is included. That is why we say gross domestic product. Okay, in simple word we are understanding so that we can easily understand. After this, on other slide I have some kind of points by which we will be clear about GDP. Okay. Gross domestic product, the overall market value of all the goods and services a country produces. From here we can understand that overall market value of all goods and services. Okay, it includes all. C plus G plus I plus NX equal to GDP. By this we will understand easily step by step GDP. Okay. Now, private consumption or consumer spending. What is consumer spending? Consumer spending is the total money spent on final goods and services by individuals and households for personal use and enjoyment in an economy. Contemporary measures of consumer spending include all private purchases of durable goods, non-durable goods and services also. So this is what consumer spending. Now G stands for government spending. What is government spending? Government spending refers to money spent by the public sector on the acquisition of goods and provision of services such as education, healthcare, social protection and defense. Now I stands for business capital spending. What is business capital spending? Capital expenditure refers to funds that are used by company for the purchase, improvement or maintenance of long-term assets to improve the efficiency or capacity of the company. Long-term assets are usually physical, fixed and non-consumable assets such as property, equipment or infrastructure, and that have a useful life of more than one accounting period. NX stands for net exports. Now, what is net exports? A net exporter is a country or territory whose value of exported goods is higher than its value of imported goods over a given period of time. Here is a small formula: exports minus imports. It also represents net exports. GDP can also be used to estimate a country's standard of living. Yes, previously we studied about standard of living, that it represents by per capita income. But when GDP raise in a country, goods producing of goods and services were also raised. With the help of this, government gets good quality of revenue. Okay. Employment is also increasing and people income is also increasing. So with these positive things, we can analyze that standard of living is also increased. So by this we can say that GDP can also be used to estimate a country's standard of living. Please like and subscribe my channel. It's my humble request to all of you. If any questions, put on comment box. I'll give answer of them. Okay, thanks a lot.